thing, but I'm just saying.
Yeah. Just to confirm, is it okay if we start recording now? Cause
Yes.
okay, cool. What was I gonna say? Yeah, it's been a little bit challenging with the other teams. They really needed to. It was really hard to communicate. It was really hard to communicate. The flow was not there, but we work it out. We figure it out, and yeah. So are you from Kagoshima Prefecture, or you're just studying Kagoshima University?
Sorry, one more time.
Okay. Are you from Kagoshima too, or
Ah,
you're just studying in Kagoshima University?
I'm not born in Kagoshima, so I just come here to go university.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm.
Like for example, I'm from Peru, but I come. I'm hearing that you was going to university, going to college. Yeah. So it's the same case for you. So where are you from? Like, what part of Japan?
Uh, I'm from Miyazaki Prefecture. It's it's located in next to Kagoshima Prefecture. So it's so close.
I see. I see. I see. Yeah. So it's still the south, right? It's still the south of Japan, right?
Sorry.
No, it's okay. It's still the south of Japan. It's
South,
because it's
south.
right. It's next to Kagoshima
South.
Prefecture. Yeah, south.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yes, south. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So should we start talking about Pachinko and what we like so far, what we don't like about the show? Shall we? Should we? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So how did you like episodes 5 and 6?
Mm, mm, episode 5. No.
Okay.
Mm,
I am terribly sorry. I'm not leaving, but I left my job, so I'm just going home real quick. I don't live too far, but I can totally participate in the next couple of minutes. I'm just going home right now. Sorry.
No, no, no pressure. No pressure. That's okay. Yeah. So just to do a little recap on episodes 5 and 6, if I remember correctly, it's when Solomon tries to find Hannah, and he ends up meeting with a person that he used to know, and all of a sudden disappear at some point, and then he learned what he learned, and then he starts talking to that person, and he learns what happened to him, and then I think that was episode 5, or it could be 6. Maybe I'm having them. Uh, um, maybe it's not the right number, but that happens either in episode 5 or 6. I'm pretty sure about that. And the other thing is when I can't remember correctly for episode 5. I think it's when I think it's when Sunya and her sister-in-law take on the role of the leader of the family for just a moment, so they can pay back some money lenders that were pressuring them and were just technically like um, threatening them to harm them if they didn't pay if they didn't pay the money back, whatever they owe. But that's what I remember. What about you, Miku?
uh, eh, uh, mm, So, sorry, my listening skill is so poor. So please type it.
Yeah. What do you
You like
remember
question.
about the episode? What do you remember from the episodes 5 and 6 of Pachinko?
Uh, episode 5.
Mm,
In episode 5,
mm,
uh, first, Sonja and uh, is Isaku
exactly.
came
Mm,
to Japan,
mm,
and Sonja went to his house with Isaku and his brother,
mhm.
maybe. Is it correct? But I don't know.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah. Uh-huh. We mhm, yeah. You're right. You're right.
Um,
You're right.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. And then you see
and
how, how she misses Korea, you know.
yeah,
Mhm. And what
yes,
else?
yes. And uh, mm, uh, my my opinion, my opinion, maybe uh, Isaku is a kind person, and his brother is a brother-minded person, but he is too suspicious to Sonja. Mm, mm.
No, no,
And maybe
yeah.
to uh uh to
Mhm,
pay the uh money to pay money of his brother, uh
mhm.
uh to pay to pay loan debt.
Long.
I don't know,
Yeah. Mm,
loan to pay loan. Sonja sold the watch
mhm,
which which presented from Hansu.
mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
But after that,
Mhm,
uh, after that, Hansu went to the shop to buy to buy the watch
mhm.
again. So I uh, why how Hansu how did Hansu know
Mhm.
Sonja would sell the watch?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
We don't know, but it happened that way. I think it was just like something the writer, or yeah, the
Mhm.
writer did, or maybe it was just the people behind the show.
Mm.
I'm not sure about that because I haven't read the book yet. But yeah, I agree with you. It's very interesting how. he just knows that Sunja will go specifically to that person and sell him
Mm.
the watch. Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, did you know? Were you familiar with the actors? Some of the actors of the show before or not? Do you know any of
No.
them?
No.
No,
Mm.
no.
Mm. No.
Oh. What else? Uh, do you think that the way they show how Japan was back? Okay, he's back. Uh, the way
Yeah, right.
they
Yeah. Oh, I didn't. I just didn't want to interrupt a little bit earlier.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, so that now I'm throwing this question out there for the two of you. Do you like the way they portray old Japan? Like, was it traditionally accurate? What do you think?
Oh. Mm. Mm. It's it's great thing, but I don't know. I don't know uh how I don't know that how the building of Japan, old Japan,
Mm.
was so, but it's 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 great thing, I think.
Okay.
Mm.
I mean, I am not native, nor do I really have. Well, I may have some lineage going to Japan, but
Mhm.
that's more than likely improbable. But I did my own research a little bit, and apparently I did find my last name in some documents, but that's like subject to verification.
Okay. Uh-huh.
So I may have some ties to Japan, but even then, to answer your question, I wouldn't know because I've only ever seen
Hmm.
depictions. I've never been out there myself, so I couldn't say what was right or what was wrong. But in my eyes, I mean, it looked fine. It looked like it could be inaccurate, but is it accurate? I can't
Hmm.
speak on that.
Yeah. 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 I mean, as a foreigner, I just, I just, one, I have never been in Japan. Two, I've seen pictures how Japan used to look, but um, I'm not an expert in the matter. So, am I qualified to say yes or no? Maybe no. But bottom line, my personal opinion is that yeah, I think they did a good job. I agree with you. It looked, yeah, like they had not they had done their research and they had not like let they were able to create that ambience, that environment, that vibe. Oh, that's what
Definitely
I think.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm. Yeah.
So
So
I'm just trying to jog my memory a little bit.
that's okay.
Um, uh, episode 5 was that episode 6. Well, I don't want to like talk about something and then have that be like about episode 7. But shoot. Because like I remember you saying how Sunja sold the watch, and then the last
Hmm.
that episode was 5 that ended with Hansu finding out, and he bought it back, and that's how the episode ended.
Hmm.
And then, yeah, they paid their debt, and then uh, Yosef was upset because he's like, "What? Like, am I not the man of the house? Like,
Right.
what do you ladies think you're doing?"
what's gotten into you? What's up? What's wrong? Like, why are you doing this? You're not supposed to be going out and about making me look bad like that.
Hmm. Hmm. I'm the man. Why are you taking care of this? What do you think of
Right.
that scene, Miku? It was like very old. It's still the same. Men getting angry when women take on a challenge that people expect only men to take care of.
Uh,
Or responsibility.
Yeah. What's your opinion?
Hmm. About that
when
scene.
when Sonja and and someone pay the loan of uh, uh in that scene, I think
Hmm.
that the man was uh, uh I think
Hmm.
Sonja did the correct way, but mm, the man the man has too much pride, so
Oh, sorry. I was made a mistake. Sorry. Um,
it's mm,
or actually, go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
I think she's done. She
Oh,
said the man had too much pride, Jacob.
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, he definitely so. But you have to think of it. That was the ledger was because I remember Sunja asked for the 300, right?
Hmm.
The ledger was $250, and back in that time, that easily. I mean, don't quote me on this because I'm pretty sure I'm wrong about how much, but
Hmm.
in today's money, Sunja literally paid probably like over $1,000.
Right. I think it would say more than that, even more than that.
She probably paid, $1,500, $1,600
Hmm.
in today's money.
Yeah, easily.
So I can see. I'm not saying it's right
Hmm.
or wrong, but either way, at the end of the day, she's just trying to keep the house together, especially because she's feels and Yosef is making Sunja feel like an inconvenience being there.
Mm.
At least in that episodes 5 and 6, he doesn't really like respect her yet. He still hasn't opened up in that sense. So I can see why he's upset, considering that is a lot of money, and to literally, you know, have uh have Isak like, oh hey, here's my new wife. Like I was gone and now I have a wife, and his brother's like, dude, who is this? Who is this person you brought to our house? And then, I mean, I don't know how many days between that and when she went to go pay the ledger, but I would assume that was like the same week that she arrived. She already left to go pay that. I mean, that's bold. It's very bold. It's a bold move right there. Those are my thoughts. I didn't want to go on too much about that.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Yeah, she was just trying to find a solution for the problem they were facing as a family. Hmm. And she did what she thought was best. Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I mean, I guess it's what the writers designed it to be, but I didn't like how this is going back to what episode 2 or perhaps 3. Kyung Hee, or they pronounced her name differently, but okay, back to what I was saying. Sorry. I didn't like how she died in the second or the third
Mm-hmm.
episode because she was the sister-in-law.
Mm-hmm.
But then the rest of the episodes, we see her in her younger form, and it's like, why couldn't she grow, or like why couldn't we see her struggle like we see everyone else's between the two timelines?
Mm.
That was something I was upset with at the end of the show, but or
Really?
even in that sense from episode 3 going forward, that's what I was upset with. I was like, well, how come we don't get to see, or we didn't get to see like both of those time frames together? Why did we just start the present time and then finish it and then show everything that happened before that?
Mm. So everything. So that had to do with the story going around the sister-in-law, only the sister-in-law, or with the show in general. Like, you know, after this episode, they started showing us all in the past, or most of the parts of the episodes of each episode after episode 3 were things that were happening in the past and were kind of confusing. Is that what you're trying to say, or how is it?
Right, yeah.
Okay.
How everyone else, they had a story to follow in the past and the present, but for the sister-in-law, she died in
Oh,
pretty early.
yeah.
She died pretty early, and then they were just showing everything in the past and only the past
Hmm.
for her.
Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting because yeah, I like the character, but yeah, you're right. It would be interesting to know what she, you know,
Like
what were
how
her
she got
struggles
sick
there.
and
Mhm.
everything
Right,
else.
right. Her struggles in the present day, you know, in the during the 80s, because that's what that's a time
Yeah, it
window
was
in which they
89.
right
89.
in which they currently are in the show. Well, yeah, in the show it's yeah, the 89. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's an interesting point of view. Hmm.
I don't know. I had too many questions, but a lot of my questions pertain to the last. Yeah, because we're supposed to be talking about episode 5 and 6,
Yeah.
but my questions pertain to 7 and 8
Oh,
more so.
okay.
So I don't really want to like jump into that too
Mm.
much, unless you guys want to. But
Uh, uh, yeah, that's a. I would be willing to do that. I don't know if Miku. I don't think
what
Miku has
about you,
watched.
Miku? Have you seen the entire show? Have you watched the whole season, or I guess all 8 episodes?
Hmm? Ah, I I watched all episodes.
All right, cool. Well, there we go. There we go. Okay.
Hmm?
So, um, episode 7, that was, correct me if I'm wrong. Episode 7 was the earthquake?
Yeah.
Was it? I thought it was 8 because that was the last one, right?
No, episode 8 was
Mm.
that was Noah. Noah wasn't a baby anymore, and
Mhm.
then Mazosu or Masozu, I forget. I get it mixed up. I'm sorry. I apologize, but Noah already had a baby brother who
Yeah.
was
Hmm.
who was Isak's real son.
Hmm. Hmm.
That
Yeah.
was episode 8. Episode 7 was focused on Hansu's background and only him.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I get it. Okay. So then we haven't talked about if that's 7, then we're kind of skipping 6 because for me 6 was kind of very weird and no weird, but it kind of didn't fit in the story, especially the part of Solomon, because I didn't kind of get that because that was when he meets his uh, a friend of his father, I think.
Yoshi-san, I
Yoshi,
think.
yeah. Mm. And then I don't remember what happened to him that basically made him make the decision of just disappear. I don't remember why. Do you remember?
So the lady, she had a name, I forget. The lady who was supposed to sign the contract she was reading through it, and then
Mhm.
she was like getting eaten alive visually by all the Japanese, because all of the Japanese were looking at her like, just sign it and get out of here, so we can be done with you. Like,
Right.
we only want your property. We don't care about what happens to you after.
Mhm.
And that's when she looked to Solomon, and she's like, if your grandma, who you brought to me to talk to me and get me into doing this, if your grandma was here in this chair, what would you tell her to do? Would you tell her to sign, or just walk away? So he said in Korean, don't sign, walk away. And that's when she got up and basically just took her glasses off and grabbed her stuff, and she left. And that's when all the businessmen, all the sales guys and whatnot, they look to Solomon and they're like, dude, what was that? What did you just do? What did you tell her? But obviously they're
Mhm.
saying in Japanese, they're not saying in Korean. And they were all upset in the middle of that little talk they had.
Mhm.
Like, what are they saying? Why do they keep talking in Korean? What's going on? What, someone translate, figure it out. And Solomon was just too emotional into it. He wasn't the embodiment of assimilating to the Japanese side of him, or the Japanese side that he wanted to be,
Mhm.
because he's stuck between two worlds. He's stuck between his culture, and he's stuck trying to be a Japanese person, to be accepted by the actual Japanese and be treated as such and not as a Korean, even though he is. But point being, he choked at the last minute, and that cost him his job.
Right. Yeah. That's how. That's the end of episode 6.
Yeah,
Right.
you see him that's where he meets Yoshi. He Solomon grabs all of his stuff, and he's running down the stairs or whatever, and he's like took off his tie,
Mhm.
and then he goes outside and he just throws his jacket off. Or wait, I'm getting
The-
two
the-
scenes mixed up. I'm getting two scenes mixed up.
I
Oh my
think
God, I'm
that's
sorry.
episode 5. If I'm correct,
Yeah,
I
where
think
he's
episode 5.
he's running
Yeah.
outside and it's raining, and he sees the band playing, and he's just he's just having a fun time. He just feels free.
Right.
Episode 6, I think they tell him you're fired, or he finds
Mhm.
out from someone else that he got fired.
Yeah.
That's when he talks to his friend. That's when he talks to his friend,
Mhm.
the guy with the super long hair. He ran into him at one of the markets or something. I'm
Mhm.
starting to remember now. I'm really
Okay.
starting to remember now.
Good. 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 Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
I'm also starting to remember now. And then he asks her. He asks her. He asks him like where he could find Hannah, and he eventually like he tells him, okay, go to this neighborhood, and then he goes there, and then that's where he meets Yoshi again, right?
Pretty much.
Hmm.
And then going back to when Solomon got fired, he goes back upstairs, grabs his stuff, puts it in a box, and then he goes back downstairs, and there's like a water fountain,
Yeah,
or
and he
like a
just threw
wall
his
of
things in
water.
the water
Yeah, and he
fountain.
just took his box and he just threw it in there, and he's like, you know what, screw this. Like, screw this place.
Yeah.
Y'all can clean this up at the least.
Hmm.
And that's when Yoshi's like, you had a tough day, huh? I've been having a tough year. And then they just start talking in Japanese and Korean and in English. And then that's when Solomon jumps into Yoshi's car, or his limo or whatever. It was a nice car on the inside. Jumps into the freaking car, and that's when they start talking about, oh yeah, I'm not liked, you're not liked. Maybe we should work together. No one wants to hire you. No one wants to hire me. Let's get back at them or something. Let's get back at the Japanese for doing
Okay.
this to us or
Mhm.
whatever.
Yeah,
And
I
that's
see.
how that episode ended. Was
Okay.
them like
Hmm.
making that alliance, and then the episode ended.
Yeah, no, I'm talking. I'm gonna be talking about a scene that from a different episode because he's not the person I'm talking about.
You're talking about when he tried to. It was when they invited him to the house, and he's like, "You live here," and then they
Right.
were eating.
Hmm.
Oh, sorry. I do not recall that guy's name.
Yeah, me neither. But
It
but
started with an H. His name started with an
okay.
H, but I don't remember.
I don't remember the reason why he just decided to disappear. Do you remember?
Um,
Do you remember, Miku?
it,
I don't know.
yeah, Miku, save us, save us.
Yeah.
It's okay if you don't know. It's okay.
Yeah.
What puzzle?
Yeah. Remember when they were when Solomon ran into this guy with long hair and face hair and everything, and they turned out to be friends. So that guy took Solomon to his house, and then they were
Ah,
eating noodles. They were eating noodles. You know, it was the daughter, the son, the husband, and then the older dad of the guy. I think
Hmm.
it was.
ah,
And they were kind
ah.
of poor, from what it looked like. They were kind of poor, but they were still happy, that family. And then Solomon at the end tries to give that guy money, but the guy is just like, "What are you doing?
Mm, mm,
Why
mm.
why are you trying to give me money?" And he's like, "You're right. Sorry, I shouldn't have done that." And they were on a walkway, and then Solomon starts going upstairs,
Mm,
and Solomon turns around, but
Yeah.
his friend already left. He already disappeared.
mm.
Just disappear. No.
Do you remember
Ah,
what you remember what I'm getting at, Miku?
it, what?
It's okay if you don't understand. If you want me to type it, I could type it.
Yeah, you can type too. Yeah. Don't worry about if you can say it, just type it. Just put it on the chat. Hmm.
I
And
understand that
mm.
scene, but what what did you ask me?
Do you know the yeah, wow. So I just talked about the scene, sorry. Um do you remember that guy's name? The
And the
one with
yeah.
the long hair and the beard and everything that was talking with Solomon for a long time.
Do you remember why he just decided to disappear?
Disappeared.
Hmm.
Ah, I forgot. Ah.
You can do it. You can do it.
Shoot.
Remember, you can do it. Work those cells, work those neurons in your head, please. Because I don't even remember because I would like to understand that part. I just because for some reason like
It
it won't
was
click
yeah,
for me.
it had to do with I I know this much. It had to do with something that happened.
Hmm.
It was an event. Or was it because Solomon went to America? Didn't he?
Yeah, well, he went to America, but he came to the U.S. But is it related to that?
Because that him leaving affected a lot of people.
Huh.
It affected. Oh, another question that just reminded me. We know who Hana is. We've seen her, but in the story, for the longest time, until like episode 6, 7, and 8, I thought Hana was Solomon's ex-girlfriend, but then it turns out that was like his sister or like stepsister or something.
Well, now she would be. I mean, now that his father and her father, no, her mother are together,
Etsuko, yeah.
they
They
are
got
half siblings, I guess.
okay.
Step siblings, right? Step siblings.
Step, yeah, step.
Step siblings. No, not half siblings. Step siblings. And but they were, I think they were both romantically interested in each other when they were younger, and because he left for the U.S., he went because he came to the U.S. and Hannah ended up, in the way she ended up.
Yeah,
Hmm.
that's unfortunate,
Yeah,
especially during that time period and having that sort of issue. Yeah, there wasn't much that could be done.
yeah. Mhm.
I mean, now you can help it, but you can't get rid of that for good. That's just you got it. Oh well, shoot, should have made a better choice, I guess.
Yeah.
But
I mean, even
um,
you can even get it. Well, it's unlikely, but you can even get it if you use protection, if you take precautions. That's it's
yeah, it's
it
still
happens.
yeah, that's right.
It
Yeah,
happens. Uh-huh.
that's right.
Yeah, yeah. It's unfortunate.
Either way, we're straying a little far here.
Yeah, yeah, we are.
um, so Miku, do you have anything that you'd like to ask?
Mhm.
Mm, ask, mm, mm, about pachinko?
Mm,
Or like general questions about the US or about our class or anything.
yeah.
What is what is your major in at university?
For me, so
Yes.
because I remember Marcio did tell you like at the beginning, um, I study communications. So
Mm.
it's very like very broad. Like a lot of people when they study very small like that, very linear. Mine is very open.
Mm.
There's no it's not like science or like computer science or mathematics. Mine is just like very open. I could I could be like a journalist or I could be on TV or I could be like anything that has to do with speaking really is my major, which is pretty it, it's it's one of the easiest things to study at university.
No,
But
don't say that. Don't say
Really?
that. It's not. It's not.
it I feel like it is. Maybe that's just me. I feel like
You're smart.
communications is
That's the problem. You're too smart for the freaking major. That's the thing. Well, I don't know. I think the college in general is freaking challenging, but that's just
but
me.
I okay, let me tell you this. Let me tell you this. I did take a
Okay.
break and I
Oh.
was just working, so I came back to school
Mm-hmm.
because I'm me. I'll tell you this. I don't mind. I don't tell some people, but I mean, whatever. Point is,
Okay. No, go ahead.
point is, I'm older. I'm not,
Mhm.
19, 20 years old. I'm older. I'm 25,
Oh, you think that's all?
2, 5. So maybe that's why it seems a little
Mhm.
easy. But in hindsight, it's me, Miku. I'm gonna tell you, I'm going into the uniform services.
Mm.
So I just picked something to get me into San Jose State so I can be sorry. So I can be in the armed forces because this is not a school ID. That's a military ID, so I can go into United States Army bases and be in there. So I'm because I'm doing ROTC. That stands for Reserve Officer Training Corporation or Corps for short.
Mm.
And the whole point is for me to my phone telling me it's on low battery, whatever. Um, the whole point of that is to commission as a second lieutenant. So basically, the point of that being of doing it this way in school, it it puts you higher up on the food chain, on the ladder, rather than going to the career center, going to an office and signing a contract and then, leaving. It's better the way I'm doing it than going to talk to a recruiter and then just like changing your life in the matter of, 10 minutes, 20 minutes that you spend in that office. So that's why I chose communications, because I'm actually going into the army. I needed a door to get me to the armed forces. So that's why I chose that. Fastest way to get into San Jose State. So yeah, I don't have like I mean I would like to actually study something, but I mean it's too late now. I already started this ride, so I got to see it through. It is what it is, I suppose. I don't
No,
know.
yeah, definitely. It's smart. And if you think that 25 is old, so I'm because of a program at school where I was last semester and this semester I've been working with different companies so I can get kind of real experience uh, doing some marketing for those companies. And you do that with other people within the program, and one of them it was like 32, and I was like, really, why are you 32? You're still coming to school? Yeah. And he was like, well, this is my he started telling me about his life, and it's just, it's so challenging because everybody's stories are so unique, and his was just so different because he tried to go to school, it didn't work out, and he started working for AT&T. He was able to get, to experience real corporate America, and he figured, I cannot get promoted, I cannot advance if I don't have a freaking college degree. So that's why he returned to school. He and I think that's something that not only he's been doing, a lot of people like all of a sudden have to drop school, something happens in their lives, but they realize, college is important, even though it sucks, but it helps you. So they're,
Personally,
yeah.
I like it. I
Mhm,
really like it. Sometimes it's challenging, but
mhm,
I like going to school. I don't know. I always thought it would be bad. I even
mhm,
didn't go to school for a year after graduating high school because I'm like, oh yeah, I don't want to go to college. I'm gonna be just fine without it. But now I'm putting so much time into going to school in general.
mhm.
I even graduated community college out of my own pocket. I didn't get FAFSA. I didn't. My dad paid for one semester, and even then, that was maybe $600. But the rest of it, out of my wallet,
Mhm.
which is like I don't think much about it, but that's actually kind of big. That's kind of a big deal.
It
It's
is
not
a big
huge,
deal.
but it's a pretty big deal.
Mhm. Yep. Yeah. Mhm. Are you
So
I'm just asking, I was throwing this question out there since we're talking about like paying for school. Are you working and going to school at the same time, Miku, or not?
uh working and going to school
At the same time, yeah.
at the
yeah,
same
do
time. No,
both.
no, only only university.
Only school. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
me too. Yeah. But yeah, it's really how to say it? I would say, kudos to everybody who work and are putting themselves through college. It's just, it's admirable.
Hey, look,
Mhm.
look. This is where I work.
Round table.
Mm,
Yeah, yeah. Good pizza.
pizza.
So that's where I was at earlier at the
Mhm.
start of this call. I was at work.
Yep. That's how it goes. Yeah. Hmm.
So, um, oddly enough, I don't brag about it because I just don't like to make myself feel bigger than the next person. But I'll share that with you, Marcio, since you did mention it.
Hmm.
Um, well, we during the school year, or I guess during the semester, although we're pretty much done this semester, we're just
Hmm.
about done.
Hmm.
Earlier, so this whole semester when it started in what, September?
Hmm.
September. Um, so I had my job, I had my school schedule, and then I have my army stuff. So which that means Tuesday morning and Thursday morning, I get up at 5 in the morning, drive to Santa Clara University, go do physical training
Mm.
for an hour. So my day starts at 5.
Hmm.
I get to school at 6, wait until 6:30 to start physical training. We train until 7:30 in the morning. And then everyone goes away for an hour, and then we all get dressed.
Hmm.
I have it right here. I have it right here. We all get dressed in our uniform,
Hmm.
and then we sit for an hour and a half in lecture, and we do that twice a week. So I have school, I have more school, and then I work.
Wow.
That's what I do in one week. And
Wow.
I work 4 times in a week as well. So I have school for 2 days,
Hmm.
or I guess 4 days. I have regular school for 2 days. I have military stuff for another 2 days, and then I work 4 days out of the week.
Because round table, because your job at round table.
Yeah,
Okay, good.
yeah.
Hmm.
So my week is pretty booked for the most part.
Yeah.
Just because I'm not at work doesn't mean I'm not doing something. And then we also have
Hmm.
2 outings. So we have this outing called Super Lab,
Hmm.
which is pretty much to bring in the new cadets, the new freshman cadets, just get them like situated and get let them have a glimpse of what the program is like and if it's for them or not.
Hmm.
And then those who stay, like 2 weeks after that, we have this, it's called FTX, but field training, I can't do it. Exercise, right? So that can easily be a 3 or a 4 day outing, and we're gone for those 3 or 4 days. So
Yeah.
you're sleeping outside,
Yeah.
and you're living it basically, like as you're trying to simulate what it
Hmm.
really is without actually doing it and actually being in real danger and all that. So
Hmm.
I have to organize my job. I have to do my homework early if I want to go to those events.
Yeah.
So it's a lot
Definitely.
of stress, but it's manageable. I can figure that out.
Yeah. You can do it. You got it. I'm pretty.
Yeah.
You got it. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, and
So then,
it's amazing. It's I read your all of us had to read each
the
other's life stories. I
yeah,
read yours, and it was inspiring. It's the typical. I'm not Mexican myself, but I know so much about Mexican, story about the stories of many Mexicans because of my friends, because of the movies that I watch, because of the TV shows that I used to play in Peru. Because you watch Mexican television, it's not only Mexican culture; it's also Mexican American culture. So it's just
right.
it's very it feels weird when you actually meet someone who has the same story, because you'd say, okay, what they were showing you is real. That the pain, the sacrifice, is real. And you know I feel really happy for you, because all, like I was saying, the sacrifice is real, but if that is real, also the rewards, everything that comes after is real. So yeah, it's I really hope you're gonna get you're gonna make it big, because you sound like a guy who's extremely disciplined. And I really, I think everybody likes people who are that way, disciplined and focused. Hmm.
Yeah, I have my moments. I still kind of do where I stray and I just get lazy or I just
Right.
put things off, but
Yeah.
for the most part when I'm like in that mindset, like I'm just going
Hmm.
and I'm just getting things done.
Yeah. Hmm.
But yeah, sometimes you have to like spiritually rest.
Right. Yeah.
So I guess that's what I was like doing the last couple days because I wasn't really doing much the last few days. I was just really
Right. This is,
hanging out and just going to work. Yeah.
yeah, it comes when you manage your time efficiently. You find at the end of the day, you find yourself like, okay, I completed so many tasks now, and now I finally have the time to do whatever I want. Either I can rest or do something else that I want to do for myself that I actually enjoy. Like reading a book, watching a movie, going out with family, or going with a partner. Yeah, it's just your story is amazing. I'm just telling you.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I just because I know there's more to it, so that's why I just don't like relish the moment, I guess. Because I know like there's more work to be done. There's more work to do. There's more to chase. And I just like even like now like
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to like rub it in your face, but just to continue no like no none of
I
that
do
is
it
an intention,
anyway.
but I just want you to know like this stuff isn't really like it doesn't
Mhm,
phase me so much. I
mhm,
just got a scholarship
mhm.
from the government. They're gonna pay my tuition until I graduate.
Nice.
And then
Nice.
I'm getting money for
I was gonna
books
say
every
something.
semester too.
Nice.
So, but like it's like I don't know if it's like me or if like my head is weird or what because
Yeah,
like
changed.
I'm not like I mean that's a good thing. It's a good thing that that's happening, right? But
Mhm.
I'm
But then
it hasn't.
it's you, and it's not only. I mean, you could say yeah. I mean, I could say yeah. It's you, but in my experience also, the support of the people who are around you, your friends, your family, your partner, everybody, they have an influence, an impact on your success, whether or not you like it. And yeah, I mean, if you see someone who is as disciplined as you are, you can tell that behind you there's a great partner. They're great parents. They're great friends. They're he has people who basically are as inspiring as he is because probably he's also trying to like keep up. Trying to follow the steps of the people who came behind before him, or the people he's surrounded by. That's based on my experience usually how it goes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
as for
Kudos
you,
to you.
Marcio, like
Kudos to you.
I thank you. But as for me, like I feel but maybe
Hmm.
from the outside it looks like I've been given the silver spoon, but like I've seen struggle. I've lived it.
Hmm.
Not like me personally, like, oh, like I couldn't pay bills, but between my two parents, like things were terrible. That we were poor. We were eating ramen and hot dogs for like months.
Hmm.
Like it was bad. Like even there'd be times like no milk, no cereal,
Hmm.
no not even so much as like having and we always somehow had food to eat, but it was never like, oh, let me get Gatorade or oh, let me have um Nesquik or oh,
Hmm.
let me get all this name brand stuff. Like, no. We I walked to school pretty much all my life until I bought a car.
Whoa.
As a kindergartner, I was walking to school 5 years old. Like I can say I know what it's like. Even with my mom for a minute, I was we were living in the garage of my aunt's house.
Mm. Mm. Wow. Ooh.
So
They're
I know how crazy it can get.
they're in Southern California. Sorry, I can't recall
Yeah,
the name of the.
SoCal, yeah, right,
Okay.
right.
Yeah. Mhm. Damn.
Like I know what it's like and I don't want to bring a child into this world in those kinds of conditions
Right,
or that situation.
right,
There's no way. There's no
mhm,
fucking way.
right.
So that's
Mhm,
why I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm trying to build my future so, you don't have to worry like, "Oh, do I have enough money to make it to next week? Do I have enough money to put food on the table if I pay all my bills first?" It's like all those stressors. Like I don't. What I want to worry about is what does my stomach want to eat today? Like I'd rather have that be a problem. Like as corny or as I guess selfish as that is,
mhm.
but the whole point is on the outside. I don't know, but at the same time, I still feel like I kind of did get that silver spoon because after reading your story, I'm just like, wow, like, and you seem like the happiest dude ever, given your upbringing and how you came to be. So I don't know. I,
Yeah,
I really don't. I really don't know. And like, obviously, you turn out to be a good guy. You're a great guy,
thank you.
and of course, and
Thank you.
your story was inspiring as well. And you seem to have a really great connection with your parents. Some people don't, you know?
Mm. Yeah.
And I mean, I could be a little bit closer with my dad, but he works a lot and surprisingly he's here right now in the
Oh,
living room, but for
okay.
the most part he's gone
Mhm.
throughout most of the week. And I sometimes I stay up like 11, 12, and he's still not home, he's still at work. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'd like to know what it's like growing up in another country. Because
Mhm,
I've only ever been here. I've traveled, sure, but
mhm.
I grew up here in California.
Oh yeah,
So I
it's really. I mean, if you just go to the East Coast, it's completely different. It's I so the largest Peruvian community in the U.S. is based or located in New Jersey. So
yeah,
have a lot of family, not a lot of family, but I have family who lives there, and they
right.
do tell me the stories about what happens there. It's completely different as what we experience here in California. There's more racism. There's more discrimination. There's more what can I say? There's more even there's more crime in some areas than others. I mean, here like in San Jose State, well, San Jose is, I would say it's safe compared to like Oakland, but even you know then
Like
it's still different. The dynamics, social dynamics
definitely,
are different. Yeah,
yeah, definitely California does have its parts, but for like as a whole, yeah, you're pretty fine
yeah,
out
you are.
here.
Yeah, yeah. It's kind
Like
of crazy out there.
especially Stockton. Stockton's pretty bad from what I hear. And I've been out there a number of times with a friend and
Mhm,
they're always like, yeah, like if we're going over there, like don't leave the house. You could be outside and whatnot, but
mhm.
like don't go anywhere if you don't have to.
Yeah. Oh wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like yeah, it's getting bad. It's getting bad. Yeah. I have
So
what else? Yeah. Oh, the East Bay.
and
It's really hard out there. It's getting out of control. I don't know what. I mean, I came to the Bay Area in 2019, and in 2019, as far as I knew, it was okay. It was not like completely safe, but it was okay. And now things apparently have even become worse. Everything's out of control. The same thing is happening. Oh well, similar things are happening in San Francisco.
yeah,
So it's like,
for a bit, San Francisco was
what?
definitely not the place to be. Like
Uh-huh.
if it wasn't rats, it was, used needles or, human droppings.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
it was terrible.
This is a crime, man.
Yeah.
They're breaking into cars that are parked on the side of the street, like nothing. You just like go park your car, get out because you like thirsty and want to buy something at the Walgreens in front of you. Just go in the Walgreens and you get out, and then you find your car completely like broke. I'm not broken, but you know what I mean. Like someone has stolen. Uh,
Someone went through it. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Someone went through it. Someone broke the window. It's like what's happening, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Miku, I don't want to leave you hanging. What?
mm,
Come on. Yeah, please.
mhm.
Please talk with us a little bit.
Yeah. How are things in Kagoshima Prefecture? Oh, by the way, we had to ask about. Have you ever been to Kushikino City?
Yeah, cool.
串
Yeah, that's right.
串の I, unfortunately, I have never been to there, so I don't know.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
But
would you like to go?
yes, I've heard from my friend about the the famous food in Ichikikushikinoshi. So I want to I want to go there and
Mm.
eat tuna ramen.
Tuna ramen.
Tuna ramen, yes.
Mm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, please have a
It's
bowl
it's
for me when
it's
you
Oh
go.
yeah.
it
Good.
sounds so delicious, so I want to eat.
Hmm. Yeah.
What? What do? Shoot, I forgot what it's called.
There was another one,
It's
right?
no, I'm talking about. It does have to do with noodles, but what do they call it? You can eat it for breakfast, lunch, or dinner based off of like what you put in it,
Hmm.
and you kind of like make an omelet with it somewhat, but it's noodles still.
Really? Hmm. Yeah, I don't know about that.
Is it? Is it? Is it? Is it
Let's see.
takoyaki or
Takoyaki.
no? I'm probably no. That's something else. That has to be. That's not right. That is not right. They called it. Oh, shoot. What? Oh my god. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Um, I can't
You'll recall
remember.
later. You'll recall. You will remember later. Don't worry. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. But yeah, we were asking you about Kushikino City because um, a lot of people here in the
I'm
Bay
gonna Google this.
Area.
I have to Google this now. I'm determined.
Go. A lot
I
of
need
people
to
here in the
know.
Bay Area that are part of the Japanese American community. Their ancestors come from Kagoshima Prefecture and from specifically like Kushikino City. Do you know about that?
Oh, oh boy. How am I gonna set this up here? Oh boy, this is bad. Um, I'm struggling. Oh no.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy. Shoot. I'm just gonna have to hold it. All right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So so we can kind of connect everything we've said to Pachinko. I would say that as an immigrant in this country, and you know, as his story and his parents' uh, story, they're also immigrants. I think we can all relate to some of the elements presented in the show because you know when you come to a different country, you have a language barrier, like uh, Sunja doesn't know how to speak Japanese when she goes to Osaka, right? And it's the same barrier language barrier that we all experience when we move to a different country and you know don't have had we haven't had in a similar situation before with regards to like using a different language 24/7 and cultural barriers to their the expectations are different, right? Like have you ever been to a different country, Miku? have you ever been have you ever been to have you been outside Japan? Have you traveled outside, Japan, to other countries?
When I was a high school student, I went to Australia, but
Mm.
Australia uh, uh, school trips,
Mm.
school trip, and school trip.
School trip, yeah.
Yeah.
What part of Australia?
Uh, ええっと、えーっと、maybe Sydney.
Hmm.
Mm,
Do you say Sydney? Okay, Sydney.
yes,
Okay, Sydney. Mm.
Sydney.
Sydney. Yeah.
Sydney.
You pronounce it Sydney in Japanese. That's how you pronounce it in Japanese. Sydney.
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 Shidoni.
Sydney.
Sydney.
Why I love how Japan just has to put a flair on words. I love it. I really do.
Yeah. The English is so I have a friend. Well, have a couple of friends from Japan, and they always told me that Japanese have a unique pronunciation of English, obviously, but they use English words just as in everyday conversations. But even though they're from English, they pronounce it in a different way. I don't know if that's true, or do you have any experience? Have you heard of that? Do you do that or not? You just like no, it's
Uh,
full Japan, full Japanese.
uh, mm, what it you mean? We use English in conversation in Japan, right? It,
Oh, English in like everyday conversations, um,
ah,
like going like you would say, okay, I'm going to the mall. You would say that in Japanese, but for example, you would say I'm going. The part of the sentence I'm going in Japanese, and then say like mall, right? Mall. Keep the word in English, mall, or pronouncing it in a different way. Do you do that, or do you do that, or it's just a few people who willingly do that, but just happen to do that, but it's not a majority. What do you think about that?
um, sorry, I can't understand the question. So please type please type a sentence in the chat. Sorry.
Oh, I can't find it. Oh,
Hmm. Asians,
still struggling.
Mhm.
It's like so Miku, maybe because I kind of remember like it's like layers, but you use eggs and noodles and like vegetables that you like, and then you add another layer of like egg and then more vegetables and stuff, and then you flip it. It's not an omelet, but you flip it like an omelet. So it's
Mm.
almost it. Let me see. It's not quite what do they call it?
I don't know.
X.
It's
No.
it's not omurice. It's not omurice, but
Oh, omrice. Omrice.
it's
Omelette.
not
Omelette
it's not
rice.
entirely like that, but it's close. I watched this on on YouTube, and it was this lady. It was a Japanese lady making Japanese food, and it looks so great. And you can
Are they
depends on what you put in it.
are the noodles made of like rice or
like it's not udon, but it's the slightly smaller ones, and it's not the clear noodle either.
Hmm.
It's
Interesting.
like the regular like ramen noodle, like, but it's not like the super crazy, like curly noodles like from top ramen packets or anything like that. It's like chow mein ramen. It looked like.
Oh, no, I don't know.
I'm sorry that I can't translate this a little bit better, Miku. I'm sorry. It, more power to you that you understand English, and I know next to nothing of Japanese. I know Spanish though. I can tell you that much.
Oh.
Oh, yes, I
Yeah,
found.
you found it. You found it. Yay! You found the video.
I found the lady. I found the lady.
Okay, what's the name of
Well,
the
give
lady?
me a second. I'm looking. I'm looking. Okonomiyaki.
Oh,
Ah,
Okonomiyaki.
okonomiyaki. Yeah, yeah,
That's what I
yeah.
was. Oh my god, that took forever.
Okonomiyaki is so delicious. Yeah.
To see, I wanted to ask. Well, you answered already, but I wanted to ask you what it's like. Like, how would you describe the taste, the flavor? Or I can write it for you too. Give me a second.
um, describe describe. Ah.
Hmm.
Just,
Eh,
just talk about it. Just talk about
Yeah,
it a
yeah.
little bit.
You can do it.
okonomiyaki. お好み焼き。
That's what I was looking for.
I can't describe now. Uh, mm, maybe it's uh, it. Maybe there are many kind of
There's a lot of ways to
many kind of
cook it.
way. Yes, many kind of way to make okonomiyaki. So I I have never eaten the okonomiyaki using noodles. I
Yeah, I'm sorry.
only
I was just trying to remember. I'm sorry.
yeah. Maybe
Shame on me.
it's it's uh maybe it's eaten in Hiroshima prefecture
Hmm.
in Japan. So when I make okonomiyaki, I use uh eggs and uh eggs and 何使うっけな eggs and pork and
Pork, yeah.
Oh,
cabbage. Yeah, but it's it's so simply things, but it's so delicious. So
Yeah,
pretty.
I
Yeah,
bet.
I want you to try it when you come Japan. Yeah.
Definitely, yes. That's gonna be one of the first things I have to look for for sure. Because ever since I saw it on the YouTube channel, I saw it was Tasty. It was called the channel was called Tasty, and um there's a Japanese lady who she made a few videos. It's the same lady. she shows how to make breakfast, lunch, and dinner in a Japanese fashion, or I guess in the typical food that someone, excuse me, that someone from Japan would eat, or I guess an idea of what they would eat, because she's Japanese, but she came to America, but she's just showing us Americans how you guys do it, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And I'm kind of jealous. You guys have better food than we do, I'd say.
Yeah, you can get good food in the US, but it's expensive.
Oh yeah, yeah. Especially because it's not American, it's other countries' foods.
Mm, yeah.
Or there is one place that you can get like all American food, and that's Black Angus. But it's so for one person, you can spend, $40-$60 on just one plate of food for yourself.
Oh,
Yeah, it gets crazy because all they do is like steak and shrimp, and
that's it.
it's like
With
traditional American dinner,
hmm
steak, a big cut, no, not even big, not even a big cut of steak, just a cut of steak,
hmm
broccoli or string beans, and then mashed potatoes. And then that right there is like $30-$40, depending on the weight, depending on how heavy
Right.
the meat is.
Um,
And then they have like shrimp tail or like shrimp cakes or something like that. But yeah, there
okay.
ain't much going on. Like filet mignon, they have
Mhm.
that. They might even have Kobe beef. I'm not sure. But yeah,
Oh,
I've had Wagyu. Have you? You probably eat Wagyu a lot, don't you, Miku?
Hmm?
Wagyu?
Wagyu? Wagyu,
Have you had it?
it's Japanese one.
Yes, yeah, meat, the
Ah,
beef, Wagyu beef
beef. Hi. Yeah. I know.
is great. I like it. It's very like it's not creamy, but it's like soft,
mm.
and it kind of
Mm.
melts a little bit. Like it kind of dissolves just a little bit when you chew it, which is weird. Like it goes away, but like you're eating, but it goes away a little bit. I don't know how to explain it. I guess it melts. It melts a little bit like cheese. I don't know. I'm just I'm getting a little hungry. I'm sorry. I'm getting a little hungry. Um, but yeah. Unless you guys have anything else to talk about, I think we pretty much like covered all the bases.
Yeah, I think so. Just a final question for Miku. Do you know any Korean do you have any Korean friends or do you know any Korean? So I need you. Any?
No.
Okay. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just curious. That's it. But yeah, I think that covers everything. We talk about Pachinko, we ask about Kushiki no City, and we talk about ourselves too. I think a little too much, but
Yeah, quite a bit. So I'm sorry, but
no. That's
no,
cool. I think
but yeah, no, that it helps me being able to have the feedback from another person, and actually like that's when it finally starts to sink in.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
completely understandable. And I think Miku will learn a lot about the Bay Area and California at the same time. And
definitely so. Talking about Stockton and San Francisco and
okay,
its homeless problem and how they break into cars over there, and
yeah. So don't worry, Miku, you're safe in Kagoshima Prefecture. We're
you're
here.
set. You're safe in Kagoshima. Yes, you'll be all right. You'll be okay.
Yeah, you'll be okay. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Unless, yeah. So
Unless you have anything else, Miku. But me, I think I should stop asking so many questions.
so we're good, Miku. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
All right. So